El Clásico, the fiercest rivalry in football history. It's more than just a game. It's a clash of cultures, a battle of philosophies, and a showcase for the world's greatest talents. For over a century, Barcelona and Real Madrid have fought for dominance, creating a spectacle that captivates billions. The air crackles with tension, every pass is scrutinized, and every goal is etched into the annals of football lore. This is where legends are born and legacies are cemented. The pressure is immense, the stakes are astronomical, and only the very best can handle the heat. But what truly defines this monumental clash? The goals. Those moments of pure genius, individual brilliance, and raw emotion that decide the fate of the match and send shockwaves around the globe. We're talking about the players who stepped up when it mattered most. The ones who silenced the Santiago Bernabéu or the Camp Nou with a single strike. At the absolute pinnacle, the undisputed number one, stands a man who didn't just play in El Clásico, he owned it, Lionel Messi. With an astonishing 26 goals, he is the all-time leading scorer in this fixture, and honestly, it's not even close. For over a decade, he was Barcelona's heartbeat, their talisman, and Real Madrid's recurring nightmare. Every time he stepped onto the pitch, you knew something magical was possible. His ability to glide past defenders, his vision, his composure in front of goal. It was a combination that Madrid simply could not contain, no matter who was in their defense or on their sideline. Think about the iconic moments. The hat trick as a teenager in 2007 that announced his arrival on the world stage. And of course, who could forget that moment in 2017, the last-minute winner at the Bernabéu, followed by that legendary celebration, holding his shirt up to the stunned Madrid fans. It was a statement, a moment of pure, unadulterated dominance that perfectly encapsulated his reign over this rivalry. Before Messi, before Ronaldo, there was one man who set the standard for what it meant to be a superstar in El Clásico, Alfredo Di Stefano. Tying for second on our list with 18 goals, the blonde arrow was the cornerstone of the Real Madrid dynasty that dominated Europe in the 1950s and 60s. Di Stefano was the complete footballer. He wasn't a static number 9 waiting in the box. He was everywhere. He would drop deep to defend, orchestrate the play from midfield, and still have the energy and instinct to be in the right place at the right time to score crucial goals. His football intelligence was off the charts. He understood the game on a level that few have ever reached, and he used that understanding to dismantle Barcelona repeatedly. If Messi was the artist, CristianoRonaldo was the machine. A relentless, powerful, and ruthlessly efficient goal scorer who arrived at Real Madrid with one mission: to conquer. And for 9 seasons, he engaged in an epic head-to-head battle with Messi that elevated El Clásico to unprecedented heights. Tied with Di Stefano at 18 goals, Ronaldo's record is arguably even more impressive given he did it in far fewer seasons. Ronaldo lived for the big moments. He thrived on the pressure, the boos from the Camp Nou crowd only fueling his desire to silence them. And silence them he did. Remember his calma celebration? It became his signature move in Barcelona's backyard, a cool, arrogant gesture that perfectly summed up his clutch mentality. He scored in 6 consecutive Clásicos between 2011 and 2013, a feat no other player has matched. Before Ronaldo, the undisputed king of the Bernabéu was Raúl, El Capitán. For 16 seasons he was the heart and soul of Real Madrid, and with 15 goals, he sits firmly among the legends of El Clásico. Raúl wasn't the fastest or the strongest, but his football intelligence, his movement off the ball, and his predatory instincts in the box were just second to none. He was the ultimate poacher, a player who seemed to have a sixth sense for where the ball was going to end up. His most iconic moment in this fixture is one that is burned into the memory of every football fan. The year is 1999, the stadium is the Camp Nou, and Real Madrid are fighting to stay in the game. Raúl scores a late equalizer and then, in an act of defiant silence, he raises his finger to his lips, hushing the 98,000, a gesture that became legendary. Now we travel back in time to an era before television brought football into every home, to a legend who, for over 60 years, held the title of Barcelona's all-time leading goal scorer. His name is César Rodríguez, and with 14 goals, he was one of the first great heroes of El Clásico for the Blaugrana. Playing in the 1940s and 50s, César was a prolific striker, renowned for his incredible ability to score with his head, a rare talent at the time, but also for his clever shots and all-around finishing prowess. Caesar was the star of the Barcelona of the Five Cups, a legendary team that dominated Spanish football in the early 1950s. Imagine a player with so much pace that defenders were left trailing in his wake, a blur of white streaking down the wing. That was Francisco Paco Gento. Tied with Cesar Rodriguez and Ferenc Puskás with 14 goals, Gento's contribution to El Clásico was defined by his incredible speed and remarkable longevity. He is the only player in history to win 6 European Cups, all with Real Madrid, and he was a constant thorn in Barcelona's side for nearly 2 decades. Gento was a left winger, not an out-and-out striker, which makes his tally of 14 goals even more impressive. His game was built on electrifying pace. They called him the Gale of the Cantabrian Sea because he was an unstoppable force of nature. His record of 23 trophies with Real Madrid stood for 50 years. He wasn't just fast, he was a winner and a true legend of the game. Alongside Di Stefano and Gento in that mythical Real Madrid attack was another footballing giant, Ferenc Puskás. The galloping major arrived at Madrid in his 30s, supposedly overweight and past his prime. How wrong his critics were. Puskás possessed one of the most lethal left foots in the history of the game, and he unleashed it on Barcelona time and time again, scoring 14 goals in El Clásico. He formed a devastating partnership with Di Stefano, their footballing brains working in perfect harmony. While Di Stefano was the all-action engine of the team, Puskás was the finisher, the man you wanted the ball to fall to anywhere near the penalty area. He scored 2 hat-tricks against Barcelona, a clear demonstration of his big-game temperament. One of his most memorable Clásico performances came in a 5-1 demolition of Barcelona in 1963, where he, of course, scored a hat-trick. After the time of Di Stefano and Gento, a new star came up for Real Madrid. He was a forward who played in a totally different way. His name was Carlos Alonso González, but everyone knew him as Santillana. For 17 years he was Madrid's main striker. He scored 12 goals in El Clásico, which made him a legend in this big rivalry. Santillana wasn't the best at fancy footwork, but he was one of the most effective and strong forwards of his time. He had one amazing skill that no one could deny, his head. Santillana was incredible in the air. He could jump super high, stay in the air and hit the ball with his head with so much power. People said he could jump and touch the top of the goal from standing still. When the ball was kicked into the box, it wasn't just a hopeful kick, it was a clear chance for Santillana to score. Joining our list with 11 goals is a modern-day predator, a player whose intensity and killer instinct perfectly matched the ferocity of El Clásico. Luis Suárez. El Pistolero arrived at Barcelona in 2014 and immediately formed one of the most feared attacking trios in football history alongside Messi and Neymar, the legendary MSN. Suárez didn't just score goals in El Clásico, he scored vital, match-defining goals. His first ever Clásico goal was the winner in a 2-1 victory at the Camp Nou in 2015, a crucial strike that helped propel Barcelona to a treble-winning season. Who could forget his hat-trick in the 5-1 demolition of Madrid in 2018? We close our list with one of the most flamboyant and spectacular goal scorers the game has ever seen. Hugo Sánchez. The Mexican superstar, famous for his acrobatic celebrations, scored 10 goals in El Clásico for Real Madrid. For 5 seasons in the late 1980s, he was the undisputed king of LaLiga, winning the Pichichi Trophy for top scorer 4 years in a row. Sánchez was a showman. His trademark was the bicycle kick, a move he perfected and wasn't afraid to try on the biggest stage. But it was his one-touch finishing that made him truly elite. His teammates knew that if they could get the ball into the box, Hugo would find a way to steer it into the net, often without needing a second touch to control it. Hugo Sánchez was a guarantee of goals. He was a charismatic and confident striker who lived for the spotlight and delivered consistently. From the acrobatics of Hugo Sánchez to the undisputed reign of Lionel Messi, these 10 players represent the pinnacle of goal-scoring excellence. They are the titans who rose to the challenge of football's greatest rivalry and etched their names into history. Each one brought their unique style, their own brand of magic or power, but they all shared one thing in common: the ability to deliver a decisive moment when the world was watching. Their goals are more than just numbers, they are the stories, the memories, and the defining moments of El Clásico. The rivalry, of course, moves on. The departure of Messi and Ronaldo marked the end of a truly golden era, but the spirit of El Clásico is eternal. New heroes will emerge, new talents will look to make their mark on this historic fixture. Players like Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Lamine Yamal and others are now the ones carrying the torch, dreaming of scoring that goal that will be replayed for generations to come. The history of El Clásico is written by its goal scorers, a continuous story of legends passing the baton to the next generation. We've celebrated the past, but the future is just as exciting. These legends have defined El Clásico with their goals. Who will be the next to make history? Subscribe for more epic football stories.